Peace, everyone. This is Momsahana, mother of two clouds, asking you once again to please sign and/or share our petition. Two clouds is the reason the Ramapo Mountain Indians (RMI) now have tens of millions of dollars in assets due to the nearly 200 acres of land he either won back for them himself or inspired others to gift them in goodwill. He is the reason they are now respected as human beings instead of human-less mountain savages, and why they now are invited into spaces they never were before and have the support and allies they never had before. In fact, he is the reason they now have access to thousands of allies that can easily be called upon to help us towards justice. In his 20s, without any prior knowledge of deeds and treaties, and no prior experience of fighting powerful corporations within the U.S. court system, Two Clouds did what none of RMI's leadership has ever been able to do. He was also instrumental in stopping a planned massive oil pipeline from being placed through their territory, including their ancestral cemetery. He is the only reason their descendants now have a chance at a viable future for at least the next 7 generations. Yet their tribal chief, clan chiefs, or tribal council would not help in obtaining a thorough investigation into his death. And his tribesmates will not come together to demand that they do so. Through our own investigation over the past 2 years, by obtaining official documents and photos, letter writing and speaking with law enforcement, medical representatives, and more, we have learned. 1. The local police decided before even leaving the scene, and without a forensic investigation, that there had been no foul play. This with there being an affidavit on file where Two Clouds complained of threats, and a complaint being filed 2 weeks before about the C-Pain leader coming to that very spot making threats. 2. The police report that documents the incident states 2 passers-by called 911 about finding the body, yet the call transcript showed no such call, and the call center representative denies the call ever came in. 3. The police never asked a single question of family or associates to find out if there could have been any foul play involved. There is no evidence that they even asked to see footage of the multiple surveillance cameras prominently placed at the entrance and exit of the land. 4. Two Clouds' shoes and other items that he always kept on him, hunting knife, necklace, rings, were missing. 5. The cousin of one of the murderers started spreading information that he saw Two Clouds on the shoreline, giving very accurate details about where he was, how he was positioned, and how his body looked. Two Clouds' body was found face down in the water, away from where and how the cousin stated, which means the cousin must have seen him before he went in the water, and he alerted no one. 6. Immediately after Two Clouds was found, the tribal chief started spreading as fact the narrative that Two Clouds killed himself by falling from his canoe drunk, then drowning. The next day, he sent a fraudulent letter to the medical examiner offering several possible causes for the death. Drunkenness was not mentioned, though he continued pushing that idea as well as heart attack to others. 7. The medical examiner included false and unverified information on the official autopsy report and listed cause of death as drowning, although the autopsy report showed no signs of drowning, including no fluid in or around the lungs or abdominal cavity. 8. Two Clouds' 16-foot canoe was found capsized a short distance from him. However, that brand canoe is made for Class 3 whitewater rafting, and a company representative confirmed it would not have flipped from someone falling out of it, especially not on calm water carrying less than 200 pounds of weight. 9. The land where Two Clouds was found is the first land he secured for RMI, and where he lived for 2 long years, enduring frigid winters, threats, being shot at, and more, while fighting for RMI's right to pray there and use the land however they wanted. The tribal chief made a settlement deal with the very group Two Clouds was fighting for an undisclosed sum. Google RMI HOA signed settlement agreement redacted. 10. The area where Two Clouds was found is in the center of an affluent community, surrounded by mansions, yet no newspaper or news team has covered the death, not even the reporters who sought him out time and again when he was fighting for the land and water. 11. The tribal chief looks for every opportunity to prove the local police are racist and uncaring towards RMI. Yet he has remained ultra quiet about the uninvestigated death of the man who fought against the county and won many times, who they knew was a target and who they were obviously biased against. He can also ask his HOA buddies to hand over camera footage and ask his prestigious allies to help obtain justice, yet he has done zero. 12. The tribal chief's cousin admitted stealing $33,000 worth of cigarettes from a smoke shop Two Clouds was pushed into managing. The last months of his life were locked in battle with the tribal chief and council because they would not follow their constitution and reprimand the cousin. From the day of the funeral and several after, the cousin made very suspicious Facebook posts that seemed to point at, ridicule, and make insinuations about Two Clouds and his death. He and 2 others, the known murderer and their female cohort, who were both constantly in Two Clouds' shadow, did the same. We believe that RMI's allies should be made aware of tribal members' seeming complicity in the death of indigenous rights activist, land and water protector, Two Clouds, especially when they are attempting to use historical Black and Indian relationships to help RMI receive federal recognition. Two Clouds was Afro-Indigenous. It is problematic and disrespectful to praise Black natives of the past for gain, yet do nothing for Black natives who need help now and who deserve it. Please join us in bringing Ramapo leadership to accountability. Our relative, my beloved firstborn child, who I trained and molded into the warrior he became, the leader, teacher, and protector of our family, deserves justice. The children he was forced to leave behind deserve justice. Please sign our petition appealing to RMI's allies and supporters. If they truly believe Indigenous people are worthy of being protected and of receiving assistance when we are wronged, if they are not simply aligning with Indigenous people as a means to benefit themselves by seeming diverse and concerned, they will stand up and do something in the now, when they are needed and when they can actually do something to make a change. We don't only need spaces to tell our stories of trauma. We need people of prestige to help make our traumas cease when we are actively being hurt and oppressed and when we are being murdered. We are not asking them to stop helping RMI. It is their prerogative to help whomever they choose, regardless of the reason. We are asking them to hold off their assistance, using it as a form of negotiation to force RMI government to do what they should have from the very beginning. The sole reason they exist is to advocate for the members of their tribe, Two Clouds being the one who did the most for them in many generations, hands down, and regardless of clan affiliation. For your convenience, you can use this QR code to take you directly to our petition, or go to change.org/justice4Two Clouds. You may also keep abreast of our progress towards justice by visiting beyond-clouds.org/blog. Thank you very much for your time and your continued support.